Today I have with me a jacket, like a regular sport jacket, that needs 3 inches off the sleeve. So in order to do that, first, we're going to be removing the buttons because you can't do anything until the buttons are removed. There we go. And then try and pull this, like the knots of the thread out. Then you'll notice that the lining is attached here. So that's also going to have to come apart. So just going to take a seam ripper in here. Like that. So now we can get in here. And then I'm going to be opening this up as well. So you see it's attached here, this panel. So we're going to separate those, and this juncture might be right about the 3-inch mark for this one. So typically I try to recreate this corner, but if we're taking it all the way up to here, I'm not going to be able to recreate that corner. So let me grab a tape measure and see how far it actually is. Ruler. Yes, so we are going to be so close because it's coming all the way up to here that we are not going to be getting a corner like this. So that actually makes it a little bit easier, so to speak. But I do want to bring all of this down so that we don't have the extra fold. So that means taking it so that you're dealing with just one layer of fabric. So we're taking the original cuff apart. So then it's going to come out like this. Right, and we know that we're going to make 3 inches. So it's actually going to be more like a typical fold, where we're going to fold it under like this. And be ironing it down. But the other thing that I want to point out is that there's usually a stiffener in the cuff. This one, it's hard to see, but there is a stiffener in there. You can feel it, and that is like an interfacing. And if you want your cuffs to be stiff, then you're going to add some kind of iron-on or fusible interfacing before creating the new finished edge. So now I have created a crease here using the iron. This is going to be my new seam edge, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off a bunch of extra. Again, remember, if we were shortening it a whole lot less, we would be trying to create that perfect pointed corner here. But since we're going literally all the way down to where the seams come together, we can't do that. So just wanted to remind you about that. Then I have cut a piece of very, very lightweight fusible interfacing. And I want that to be about the length of, or the circumference, need to use the proper mouth terms here, of the cuff. So I'm gonna take it and iron it down on the inside, but I also need to mark where that edge is, just because if I put this down and iron it flat, I'll lose my crease. So this is actually not working. So what I'm gonna do is a tailor's ham here. I'm gonna turn the sleeve inside out so I can get to it. Filming things definitely reminds me that I want you to be able to see it. So sometimes I have to alter my methods of demonstrating something. So we're gonna put the tailor's ham in like this. This piece is gonna go down like that. So of course, remember when you're putting interfacing on, it's gonna go facing down. The sticky part is gonna face down, I should say. And this is gonna go around here. Come around like that. And then turn it and fold it. So it was convenient that I just stuck a couple of pins in there, literally marking my edge. You could see the folds that I originally created from the iron, but I didn't want to risk like losing my place altogether, because of course I was using the iron to press the interfacing on. So I thought that I would lose my crease. So now I'm just gonna crease that down. Okay. And there we go. So that's how you get that prepped. So I'm going to do that to both sides. So once I have ironed this part and gotten that down, then we're going to take the lining and start working with the lining. So I have my thread here that I'm going to use, my tape measure, just all of the things that you need as a sewist. So we're going to go ahead and take 3 inches off of this lining, because that's how much we shortened them by. So just like that. Took that 3 inches off. And I'm going to take 3 inches off this side. So when you begin to put the lining back or stitch it back, you always want to make sure that the seams are lined up, meaning you don't want the lining to be twisted inside the arm, so that the sleeve coming down out of the lining is the same seam that you're using to match up on the cuff. So this lines up here, and you want to leave it a little bit loose, because what's going to happen is when you move your arm, when the wearer moves their arm and raises it up, the lining is going to pull at a different rate as the outer fabric. And so don't make it too tight, or else it will pull when, you know, they're raising their arm as they're wearing the outfit. So just be cautious of that. So you're just going to pin around. And straighten everything out. Inside here. And pin. So now that lining is ready to be attached. So make sure that I gave it enough. I'm going to actually give it just a little bit more ease there, which means that I had a little extra fabric underneath, rolled underneath. Just roll that down to lengthen it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and thread a needle. And tie it at the end. And begin to stitch. You're just going to stitch all the way around. So this is just a little, what I call a slip stitch. Just going through the edge, the lining, that, and then down into the fabric like that, all the way along. And finish both sleeves like that. And once you're done with the lining, you're going to just turn it right side out, put your buttons on, and then I'm going to press it again because the sleeve is a little wrinkly from the work that I've done, but it is finished. Thank you for watching. You can shop tutorials and classes on my website, naomifeda.net. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, may God sow his love into your heart today.